So your customer service team is using AI, right? They're getting faster, they're getting smarter, but what if I told you they might also be opening a massive security backdoor without anyone even realizing it? Okay, let's dive into this hidden risk and figure out how to protect your most valuable asset, your customer data.
And just so you know where we're getting our information for this entire breakdown is pulled directly from Chapter 4 of a fantastic tutorial by Virtualization Options LLC. We're focusing specifically on the customer service department.
So let's kick things off with a question that might feel a little uncomfortable. Could it be that the very AI tools helping your star agents solve problems in record time are also turning them into your single biggest security liability? It's a serious question, and we're going to tackle it head on.
To really get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand the environment we're talking about. A customer service department is a high-pressure world. It's basically a minefield of sensitive data where every single interaction is critical. And here is the absolute core of the problem. Your support agents, they're measured on speed and customer satisfaction, right? Well, that constant pressure to resolve issues right now means security can easily become an afterthought. An agent might just copy-paste an entire customer's history into an AI tool just to get a quick answer, and boom, that's exactly where the vulnerability is created.
Now, the type of data that's at risk here has a specific name you've probably heard: Personally Identifiable Information, or PII. It's the crown jewels of customer data, anything and everything that can be traced back to a specific person.
And customer support teams handle a shocking amount of this stuff every single day. We are talking about names, account details, what people buy, how they use your products, even the technical details of their computers. For an attacker, it's a literal goldmine. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. As the source material points out, when this data gets stolen, the problem isn't just your breach. Attackers can then use that information to launch targeted attacks against your customers, making you liable for their security problems too. The fallout from that can be absolutely huge. So, how exactly do these attacks happen? Well, they're not random. They are targeted, they are methodical, and they are specifically designed to exploit the very nature of customer service work. Let's break down the anatomy of a typical attack. Attackers, they have a playbook. They might impersonate a frantic customer to pressure an agent into skipping key verification steps. Or they'll just go after your outsourced call center, which is often a weaker link in the chain. They'll also steal an agent's login to quietly scrape data from AI logs for weeks on end, and a really sneaky one, offering a helpful browser extension that secretly steals every piece of data typed into an AI prompt. You see what's going on here? Attackers are turning a support team's greatest strengths, their speed, their high volume, and their deep desire to help, and turning them directly against the company. That whole customer-first culture becomes the very pathway for the attack. All right, that's the problem. It's pretty serious, but it is not hopeless. So now, we're going to pivot to the solution. How do you spot these intruders, and more importantly, how do you stop them before they ever get in? Your defense strategy really comes in two flavors. First, there's detection. This is reactive. It's like catching a burglar who's already inside your house. Then you've got prevention, which is proactive. It's locking the doors and windows so they can't get in at all. And let's be clear, you absolutely need both. For detection, it's all about knowing what's normal so you can spot what's, well, not. You have to baseline what typical agent activity looks like. Then your systems can flag things like an agent suddenly accessing 1,000 records or using AI tools at 3 a.m. You can even build these security checks right into your existing quality assurance reviews. But detection just isn't enough. The real goal, the end game, is to prevent the breach from ever happening in the first place. This is all about building strong walls and smart systems, and it starts with the most fundamental principle of all. And here it is. The single most powerful prevention strategy is incredibly simple in concept. It's called data minimization. If the sensitive data never enters the AI tool to begin with, it can't be stolen from it. It is truly that straightforward. And what's really cool is just how practical these tactics are. Instead of pasting a real customer's issue, agents can use an anonymized version, or they can use a token, like just a case number, that links back to the secure data but doesn't actually expose it. Developing pre-approved prompt libraries also goes a long way in guiding agents to ask for help without oversharing. Now, on the technical side, there are three key pillars. First, use AI that's built into your secure ticketing system, not some random separate website. Second, enforce role-based access. A Tier 1 agent just shouldn't have the same data access as an escalation specialist. And third, use automated tools that act like a filter, catching and sanitizing that PII before it ever leaves your system.
And you cannot forget the human element. Generic security training is pretty much useless here. Like the source says, your training has to be specific. It needs to simulate those high-pressure calls where someone is impersonating a customer and really teach agents how to handle that exact situation.
But look, even with the best defenses, breaches can still happen. And what you do in the moments and days after a breach is discovered is absolutely, positively critical.
Because when customer PII is involved, a clock starts ticking. This isn't just a technical problem anymore. It's a legal and regulatory one. There are strict laws about notifying customers and authorities. And trust me, the penalties for getting it wrong are severe.
Your response plan has to be crystal clear. First, you have to figure out exactly who and what was impacted. Immediately, you bring in your legal team to navigate the complex notification laws. Crucially, you have to keep your support lines open. You just can't shut down. And finally, you have to develop a communication strategy that is clear, honest, and empathetic.
This table lays it out perfectly. In the short term, you're in damage control mode. Disable accounts, notify people, get your lawyers involved. But long term, you have to learn the lesson. This is when you redesign workflows, overhaul your training, and invest in those secure, integrated platforms we were just talking about.
So when you put it all together, the big takeaway here is that the solution isn't to panic and ban AI. I mean, that's impossible, and it's a huge competitive disadvantage. The real goal is to be smart about it, to create a framework where you can safely innovate with these incredible new tools. And that leaves us with one final question to think about for your own organization. As you race to make customers happier and your support team more efficient, are you positive you aren't accidentally trading their security for that speed?